Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining today's daily call. Welcome to His Holiness Chandramouli Swami's Maharaj's daily call. So today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Srimathi Mataji with us today to enlighten us on the topic Krishna rescues his teacher's son from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 45. Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you so much for joining, for giving your valuable time and association with us today. We are on this wonderful pastime. Krishna Krishna rescues his teacher's son. So please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Lord Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. So please take over. We are eagerly looking forward to hear from you this nectar. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to our Guru Maharaj. Today I'm just taking this opportunity to give an attempt to do this class. So I just want all of your blessings, and also if any mistakes I do, please forgive me. So actually, as I choose this topic because anyway, this month is very auspicious for all of us. Sri Balram Purnima and Krishna Janmashtami are coming in this month, and it's always very wonderful to meditate on Lord Krishna's, Lord Balram's pastimes, Vrindavan pastimes, or all that. So I just took this topic to speak a little bit about Lord Krishna's pastimes, and let's all hear about some Krishna Katha today. So first I'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Chandramouli Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Sudha Mataji, I will share my screen, Mataji. It will be easy for me.
Okay, Mataji. Sure, I'll stop screen share. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, your co-host, you can share, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. I'll share in between. First, I'll start story. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So today, so I choose this topic because we are going to celebrate Krishna Janmashtami soon, and it's always pleasure to listen about Krishna and Balram pastimes, activities, what they did. So, and also we have some learnings in this chapter to get to take home. So what are those also we'll see. Actually, Srila Prabhupada has written this chapter very nicely in the Krishna book. So he explained it very well with the long purports. So it was very easy to understand and also to talk about this katha after reading that chapter. So basically what happened, so before going into this chapter, so I will just go back to the previous chapter where Krishna killed Kamsa. So in that chapter, Srila Prabhupada actually wonderfully explains how Lord Krishna and Balram, so they both comes to Mathura, and and they came into this wrestling arena, and they pulled Kamsa there, and how Krishna killed Kamsa. And after that, all his other 8 brothers were killed by Lord Balrama. And after that, what happens? So after killing Kamsa, the wives of Kamsa and other brothers' wives are in grief, and they were crying loudly, and and then Krishna and Balram started consoling them and also pacifying them. And immediately, Lord Krishna, he immediately released their parents, Vasudeva and Devaki, from the prison. So, and so after that, now coming into this chapter, so now when they saw this huge activity, this extraordinary activity of these 2 boys killing the demon like Kamsa and their brothers, so they were so much astonished, and they were like simply standing, and they realized that this is none other than Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so, and Vasudeva and Devaki were so much in wonder, like how come these boys did this much extraordinary activity, and they are none other than Lord himself. And they were not coming near. They just stood there, seeing them, watching them. Then Lord Krishna understood that Vasudeva and Devaki are not in parental affection anymore. They were just like simply they realized his position, and they are not coming forward to embrace them. So then Krishna expanded his Yogamaya potency, and then Krishna expanded his Yogamaya potency, and he started speaking to Vasudeva and Devaki. So what happened then? He is trying to console, or he is trying to pacify Lord Vasudeva and Devaki. So here, like by talking that, so please forgive us. Like as parents, we never were there with you since childhood, because you were imprisoned, and because of Kamsa's fear, you gave away, you sent us to Gokula or Vrindavan. So now we suffered a lot of separation from you both, and now and also Krishna, he's talking here in this 10th canto, 45th chapter. So here in text number 5, so he's 5 and 4, from 4 onwards, deprived by fate, we could not live with you and enjoy the pampered happiness most children enjoy in their parents' home. And with one's body, one can acquire all goals of life, and it is one's parents who give the body birth and sustenance. Therefore, no mortal man can repay his debt to his parents, even if he serves them for a full lifetime of 100 years. So here Krishna is telling his thoughts, or he's telling that how a son should be. So though they are being separated from their parents since childhood, and they grew up somewhere, but now once it's the responsibility, or is the duty of the children to take care of their parents. So the body is given by the parents, which is used to acquire the goal of life, It is once. So therefore, he is saying that no mortal man can repay his debt to his parents. So because through this body only we can serve the Lord, through this body only we can achieve the purpose of life. So, and here Krishna is stating that, so we have suffered separation because of Kamsa, and now Kamsa is and that now we are able to, we can satisfy you, and we can do some service to you. So a son who, though able to do so, fails to provide for his parents with his physical resources and wealth, is forced after his death to eat his own flesh. So, and also he's telling that a man who, though able to do so, fails to support his elderly parents, chaste wife, young child, or spiritual master, or who neglects a Brahmana or anyone who comes to him for shelter is considered dead, though breathing. So this is an important lesson we have to learn, or is an important point where Krishna is mentioning that how a person should be, how a son or daughter should be, how they have to take care of their parents, or even a person who is neglecting his wife or children or spiritual master, or who neglects a Brahmana or anyone who comes into his shelter. So everyone who comes to his shelter, he has to take care nicely. If he is not doing so, even though he is living, he is considered as dead. So that is the main point which I liked in this chapter, where Krishna himself is showing as an example, like how he is telling us like how we should be and how we have to take care of our parents, because they are the one who brought us into this world, and they are giving this opportunity through this body to serve the spiritual master or serve the Lord directly. So after, while Krishna and Balram, Krishna is talking like this, then Devaki and Vasudev, they got their parental affection back. And it is also due to the extension of this Yoga Maya potency of the Lord. So then immediately once they, and also Krishna is asking forgiveness, that we didn't do any service till now. And Krishna is asking forgiveness and for all our sins. Then immediately Vasudeva and Devaki, they got very much into parental affection, and they got into tears, and they immediately took the kids into their lap, and they embraced them. So after this, and then after these loving exchanges, then Krishna went to the king Ugrasena, and he, stop here. Krishna went to King Ugrasena, and Krishna asked him to, he asked him to take the throne back, take the Mathura's kingdom. And also he gave his position back, because the Yadu dynasty has a curse that they can't be kings. So now the eligible person is the King Ugrasena only. So now King Ugrasena, he's given as, or taking the oath as a king there. And all the neighboring kings, so whoever have fled away, or whoever they are hiding in other places due to the fear of Kamsa, they all came back, and now they are very happily accepting King Ugrasena as the king of Mathura. So like this, everyone is happy now, and all the residents of Mathura are also very happy seeing the Lord Krishna and Balram always in front of them, and even Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, some of the residents of Vrindavana were also there along with Krishna and Balram. So after some while, and also these, it's given in the purports that in the chapter that the residents of Mathura, they were very happy to see Krishna and Balram daily. So Mukunda, here the word, the name Mukunda is given here for Krishna, because he's by seeing the face of Mukunda, they are very much liberated, and they are in very much transcendental bliss. So it says that the person who gives, the Lord who gives mukti is Mukunda. So so he, by seeing the lotus face of Krishna, one always get liberated, and they always get transcendental bliss. That's what Srila Prabhupada writes in his Krishna book chapter. So after that, after some time passes, and Krishna and Balram now approaches Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and they tell them that now it's time to you to go back to Vrindavana. I'll be here for some more. We'll be here for some more time, and we'll come back to Vrindavana. So, but Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they don't want to leave Krishna and Balram, and they always feel the separation. So then he consoles them, and he talks to them that even though we are not your kids, you raised us very nicely since childhood with all the parental affection, and we are very much indebted to that. And so they speak with them very nicely, and being parents of Krishna and Balram, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya also, they were in very much tears, and they don't want to leave Krishna and Balram there. But with heavy hearts, they went back to Vrindavana. So waiting for him. So this was the very like loving exchanges happened there. And once they go back, now after that, now Vasudev, he thinks that now it's the time. Now the Kishora stage is there for Krishna and Balram. So now we have to perform initiation ceremony to the Krishna. So it's a custom that in Kshatriya families that to be eligible to become a brahmachari or to go for the further higher studies, the boy should take this initiation ceremony, initiation. So so now Vasudev calls his family priest, Gargamuni, and he arranges this initiation ceremony, which is a sacred thread ceremony, giving the Brahmanical initiation to the boys. And after that, so now they have become truly brahmacharis, and they are following these regulative principles. They have to follow these regulative principles and also some prescribed duties as a brahmachari. And at the same time, Vasudeva also thought that, remembered that at the time of birth of Lord Balram and Lord Krishna, he took a vow that he has to give some charity to the Brahmanas. So he gave a lot of ornaments and cows in charity to the Brahmanas. And then he satisfied the Brahmanas. And after that, this initiation ceremony happened. And this is an example where Vasudev shows that one should be an honest person. Like suppose, for example, if we take a vow suppose in the past, some few years back, and we forget sometimes. But he's not a person like that. Even though he took a vow when Krishna and Balram was born, but he didn't forget. He remembered that, and he gave the cows and ornaments, and he satisfied all the Brahmanas. So whatever he missed all those years, he completed this time. So that was a very nice thing. I feel that where one should always be cautious, like what we are doing, like what we vowed in the past. Suppose if we promise something in the past, and after some years we say, oh, okay, we did, okay, that was the time we made that promise. Now we need not fulfill that. So we have to be always honest. So that will show an example, that will show how good you are and how honest you are, so in your life. Okay, so coming back to this story, so now Krishna and Balram got initiated, and in every respectable family, as per the Vedas, so one has to accept an acharya, one has to accept a I'm so sorry. So here I just want to share one more thing. I forgot. I'll share my screen. So here now Krishna and Balram has become brahmachari, and they are ready for the to accept an acharya for a spiritual master, and they are following nicely the regulative principles and all the prescribed duties. So for every ashrama, we have some prescribed duties for brahmachari, from grihastha, so like that. So but being a Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna and Lord Balram, they need not follow any prescribed duties, but they are following. So why? Because they are giving an example. They are showing us an example to a common man how they should be. So here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, he is quoting an example of King Janaka, who is performing all the prescribed duties, even though he is a rishi, he is a rajarshi. And so just for the sake, he's in this 20th verse, you'll see 3.20. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the 3 planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, or now have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. So here Krishna himself is telling that there is no work prescribed for me, no need of doing anything. But why he's doing for us to show as an example that he is engaged in all the prescribed duties. And if he is failing to do this, then all men will also will fail. Because so here is saying, if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, certainly all men would follow my path. So if I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds will be put to a ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. So let's go into this verse 3.24, where Srila Prabhupada explains that in order to check this social disturbance, there are prescribed duties and regulations which a population should follow. If you say that we don't know any rules, we don't know any duties, what should we do? Then it's not an excuse. We have to know. We have to know what we should do. We have to inquire, and we have to follow the regulative principles, and we have to follow our prescribed duties as per our ashrama. So when Lord Krishna descends, because naturally he deals with such rules and regulations in order to maintain the prestige and necessity for such important performances. The Lord is the father of all living entities, and if the living entities are misguided, indirectly the responsibility goes to the Lord. So this is why Krishna is doing the prescribed duties, because the responsibility, it is the Lord's responsibility, it is the Father's responsibility to show as an example how a common man should live, or how in a particular ashrama. So I just want to emphasize on this aspect that even though there is no need of doing any prescribed duties, Krishna and Balram, they are accepting their these duties, and to show as an example for all of us. Okay, so coming back to this, so now Krishna and Balram are ready to accept a spiritual master, and now they are. So there is a Brahmana known as Sandipani Muni. So he is from Ujjain, Avantipura. So he is Avantipura Brahmana, and he is the master, or he is the spiritual master of Krishna and Balram. So here now, once they are duly initiated, they goes to the ashrama of Sandipani Muni, and they stay there, and they take this education. The further education is given by the spiritual master. So now being satisfied, so now Krishna and Balram they are serving their spiritual master very nicely. And also Krishna also tells us in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So where we should surrender submissively to the spiritual master, render menial service, and also ask questions, and find out about the philosophy, find out about the shastras, find out about how to live a life. So we have to be submissively asking questions, and getting instructions from the spiritual master. So by doing all these things, we'll be able to satisfy the spiritual master. We'll be able to satisfy the spiritual master, and get the blessings of spiritual master. So once the spiritual master is satisfied, then automatically the blessings will come, and you can learn a lot, and you will be always in his shelter. So so this is the one point I want to stress again here. We all know the importance of spiritual master. So here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that it is very important anyone to take up to accept a spiritual master in order to do the devotional service to Krishna. So how to do that is very well explained in that 4.34 verse in Bhagavad Gita. And also we have to do a lot of how much ever we can do service to the spiritual master, like a menial servant, and be submissive, be surrender, have full faith that he is not the common man, he is the representative of Lord. And he is the one who is always he is the one who is always keeping us in shelter and helping us to do the devotional service. And in this path, he is always helping us and guiding us there. So this is how Krishna and Balram, they satisfied their spiritual master, and being very satisfied, Sandipani Muni instructed them all the Vedic knowledge, and they are all trained in the military science, politics, and ethics, and how to rule, how to pacify, how to give shelter to others. So all these aspects of maintaining a kingdom or being a king. So all this training they are getting. And also it is stated that Krishna and Balram learned 64 arts in 64 days. So these are arts neatly explained or detailedly explained by Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna book chapter, where each and every art, the 64 arts, Krishna and Balram, they mastered it in one art in one day. And that too, they are not simply learning that, they are just mastering that art and they are remembering that forever. So for example, we learn a particular thing. If it is a very interesting one, we remember. But if it's not that much interesting, then we'll forget after some time. So it's not like that. It's not that case with Krishna and Balram. They are learning this art in a particular day, and they are mastering it, and they are remembering it forever. So that is their version. Even though they are the ocean of, so Krishna and Balram are the ocean of the knowledge. They are the Vedic. So Vedas sarver ahameva vedyo. So Vedas come from Krishna. So everything is coming from Krishna. Even though they are the source of knowledge, they are taking a shelter of a spiritual master, and they are learning everything as a particular as a student, and they are mastering, and they are satisfying their spiritual master. So this is like just to show as an example, like how a student should be. So, and also, so these 64 arts are very interesting. Like if you get a time, please read this chapter where Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely. And actually, I was thinking that when I was reading this, each and every art they mastered in one day, Krishna and Balram, because they are transcendental personalities. But we common people, we read that each particular art as a specialization degree here. So we go to university like gemology, geology, like about learning politics or learning about any fighting. So all these things, it will take some lot of time and energy. And so we have to dedicate some part of our life to that. So that's how the thing is. So I was so surprised to see all these arts, so minute, like talking different languages and all. So every time Krishna is doing such any pastime, he's showing us an example, like this type of pastimes. He's showing us an example, like how we can be in our life, and how we can learn, how we can ask questions, how we can satisfy as a spiritual master. So all this. So this is a favorite thing for me. Okay, so then after that, what happened? So even though, so now they learned everything, and Sandipani Muni is very happy, and they understood, his wife and he understood that these are not ordinary people, or these are not ordinary personalities. They are the Supreme Personality Godhead. So and then now their education is complete, and now the time of Guru Dakshina has come. So now Krishna and Balram, they go to their spiritual master Sandipani Muni, and they ask him what kind of Guru Dakshina I can give, what I can offer in return. So then they discussed among themselves, Sandipani Muni and his wife. They asked Krishna that please bring us our son back, who is drowned in the ocean in Prabhasa Kshetra. So then immediately Krishna agreed, okay, done, it will happen. So I'll bring your son back. Then immediately Krishna and Balram goes to the ocean near the Prabhasa Kshetra. So there, so they call this ocean deity. So the ocean deity, he comes and once he hears the calling of Krishna, he immediately understood this is none other than this Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, and he came out and he paid obeisances, and immediately Krishna says that go and bring our teacher's son. So then he says that teacher's son is the demon Panchajana. He took away this boy, so he is under the deep in the ocean. So then immediately Krishna and Balram, so they dived deep into the ocean and caught hold of this demon Panchajana, and they immediately killed the demon. So a big conch shell grew around the body of Panchajana. So that's why that conch shell is called Panchajanya. So that taking that, but they couldn't find the boy there. So the demon had that boy, they thought, but the demon didn't have that boy. So then he took the conch shell which grew around the body of the demon, and this taking this Panchajanya conch shell, they went to Yamaloka. So when they went to Yamaloka and blew the conch shell very loudly, then immediately Yamaraja understood that these two boys are not any ordinary people. They are the Supreme Personality Godhead himself. And so then he came running, and he paid respects, and he asked what does he want. Then immediately he said, give my teacher's son. Krishna says that give my teacher's son back. Then immediately Yamaraja brings that boy and give to Krishna and Balram. And it is explained in this chapter that so once the loud roaring sound of this Panchajanya conch shell, because of that, all the hells, the Kumbhipaka hell, the Raurava, all these got purified, it seems. So all these got, the sins became less, and all the sinful people got liberated, it seems, by just hearing the sound of this Panchajanya conch shell. And also one more interesting thing Srila Prabhupada wrote in his purport, that when we say ocean deity, sun deity, so who is this? Like when any Western people or Western philosophers, they read this particular concept in our Shastras, they think that they don't understand like why we are calling a ocean as a person, or sun as a person, or moon as a person, like that. So because it's just an representative of that particular entity, we can say. Just like Srila Prabhupada explains that in the purport, just like how we say that this company has acquired that company. So a company is a physical entity. How can that do this activity? Because we are just saying that this big company, X company, is acquiring Y company. Then it's meaning that the representatives of X company are getting into a deal with the representative of Y company. So it's the inner meaning, or it's a hidden meaning. So, but for the sake of telling, or like these representatives, they'll be in the background. So we'll be always mentioning about the company only. And also we can say, and also Srila Prabhupada says that United Nations has done this, United Nations has signed up this. But what United Nations is a big entity. So the representatives who are representing that particular entity, they are signing this contract, or they are signing this agreement between the nations, like that. So this is how explains Srila Prabhupada explains about this. So the deity, ocean deity, is the person, or is the god, demigod, who is representing the ocean. So he came forward and to do the service to Lord Krishna. So this is only for the Western philosophers who don't understand this particular point. That's what Srila Prabhupada mentioned there. So so now once they took the son back, now coming back to the story, once they, Krishna and Balram took the son from Yamaraja, teacher's son from Yamaraja, they go back to their spiritual master, and they gave their son back, and they are very happy. And They are very pleased. The teacher is very pleased, and he's very happy, and they give blessings. They gave blessings that whatever education they got from the master, from the guru, they will remember always, and it will be like eternity. Like everybody will follow what Krishna and Balram did, and also here it says, your teachings will be honored not only within this universe or in this millennium, but in all places and ages, and will remain increasingly new and important. So he blesses Krishna and Balram like this. So whatever they teach, whatever they do, so it will be always there in all the millenniums and ages, and will remain increasingly new and important. So that's why till today, now, even though in 2022, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we are reading Sri Bhagavad Gita, we are taking help of Sri Bhagavad Gita, and lot of, now the need is increasing in this age. We see that the need of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is increasing. So this is all the blessings of the spiritual master. So here again, I want to emphasize that how much important is getting blessings from spiritual master, from Guru. So we always aspire, as a disciple, we always aspire blessings from Guru Maharaj. Once I remember in one class, Guru Maharaj said to me that blessings comes in the form of instructions. So I never forget this from Guru Maharaj. Like he always says that blessings come in the form of instruction. So when he is giving instruction, then it's always that he's giving blessings to us. So that's what I understood always. So now getting blessings like this from their teacher, and Krishna and Balram, they finished their education, and after that they happily went back to Mathura. And after going back Mathura, and they were the presidents, and Devaki and Vasudev, they were eagerly waiting to see Krishna and Balram after a long time, and they are very happy to receive them. So this ends this chapter of where Krishna rescues his teacher's son. And here the main takeaways I think that we can take is how to be a son or daughter to one's parents, how to take care of one's parents, and how to follow Krishna in performing the prescribed duties and following the regulative principles, and how to accept and the need of accepting a spiritual master and following the instructions of spiritual master and inquiring from him submissively, and always rendering service to him, and getting blessings and pleasing Guru and getting blessings from him. So these are the important takeaways I took from this chapter. I'll stop here. Thank you so much for listening. If there is any corrections or if you want to add anything, please let me know. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful class. So nicely, beautifully explained about the pastime of, Krishna rescues his spiritual master's son. And so nicely you explained about the loving exchanges between Devaki Mata and Vasudeva, and also loving exchanges between Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj. And so nicely you explained how the Krishna instructs, when we fail to support the elderly parents, the chaste wife, young child, or spiritual master, Brahman, or anyone is considered to be dead, so beautiful instructions, very beautiful class. And also you explained about how we have to surrender to spiritual master, submissiveness is so important, and asking questions in submissively and serving spiritual master, so that we can get Krishna's spiritual master's blessings, and we can progress spiritually. And yeah, Soumya, and how nicely explained about the pastime, how Krishna rescued the sons, and the last thing, how important, like the blessings you said, how the spiritual master, when he's pleased, he gave the blessings to Krishna, like wherever, like whatever teachings it will remain in all the ages, and it will be increasing. That is very nice. Again, Mataji, thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful class. I'll open up for questions. Dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, or realizations, please feel free to unmute, or you can type in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for summarizing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Guru Maharaj. It was really nice class. It was so nice. It was just like carried away with the Krishna story. I'm so glad that you pick up that topic on the time of Janmashtami. Thank you. Just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for encouraging me. Thank you.
You did very well, Mataji. I really wanted to listen to your class.
Thank you, Mataji. Sridev Mataji, I see your hand raised. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our wonderful Gurudev. And congratulations on your first class ever. It's just the start of many, many, many classes. Now I can see that. And thank you for a very scholarly presentation, in-depth presentation with quotations from all the chapters, with explanations of those, and a further description if you want. You give references, and very comprehensive and very in-depth at the same time. I really appreciate the effort you have put into making a very interesting and lively class for all of us. You're putting us in the mood of Balaram Jayanti and then Janmashtami. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Guru. Thank you for your kind words. I just tried this because instead of any philosophy, it's easy to narrate Krishna Katha. I took shelter of Srila Prabhupada Krishna book. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Really true. You got that mood. Oh, thank you. Namrata Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to you also. Your wonderful services. Mataji, it was a very
Mataji, your voice is very low, Mataji.
Yeah, it's a little bit low, Mataji. Maybe. Yeah.
Am I audible or still low?
It's still, Mataji, it's still low. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
And now it's better, Mataji. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the wonderful elaborated class, Mataji. It was really nice. I think
I
this
tried
is
to rush in, Mataji, because it's a big chapter and I didn't go into the 64 arts at all because
yes,
it's very
indeed, it is a
lengthy.
good chapter.
Yeah.
Every point was really worth contemplating. The parental, the relationship of guru and disciple, and how to learn as a disciple. So many points. Thank you for the wonderful class. I just want one clarification, if you don't mind.
Sure,
I was just thinking, when you said about Yoga Maya covered Devki and Vasudev. So I was just wondering, what is the difference between Maha Maya and the Yoga Maya?
So here in Krishna book, it's written that the influence of the illusory energy. So by the influence of Yoga Maya, the devotee can establish a relationship in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is his child. So after creating this situation by his Yoga Maya, so I think even I'm very poor in this knowledge, Mataji, Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. I think Sridevi Mataji can help, or we can ask Guru Maharaj. But Yogamaya, as per my thing, I know that this is the illusory energy. So on which by the
Yogamaya works in the material, in the spiritual world, and Mahamaya operates in the material world.
Okay.
Illusory power is that is Durga Devi. She is known as Mahamaya, and it's her power that makes us forget Krishna. While Krishna uses Yogamaya to cover his pure devotees that he is God in the spiritual world. You know, cowherd boys don't know he is God. Yashoda doesn't know that he is God. So that's completely spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. That's why they were able to be parents of Lord Krishna and Balram. And now, as they saw this extraordinary act of these small boys killing Kamsa, they realized that they came out of this Yogamaya potency, and they realized that they are none other than, they are not there any normal human beings. They are Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So that's why they were in shock, like they were not able to show their parental affection at that time. Yeah.
So both, I'm sorry to make a follow-up. I think Sridevi Mataji can also help. I understood the difference, but both of them, the Yogamaya and the Mahamaya, both are the external energies.
Mataji, I don't have an idea. Sridevi
Well,
Mataji.
it's the Lord has many potencies. The Lord has the Samved, the Ladini, and the what is the third one? I forget the third one. Samved, Sandhini potency, 3 potencies, and then from these come all the others. So Yogamaya is the one that operates in the spiritual world. That much I know, and it's a transcendental loving connection, because Krishna doesn't want them to know he's God. So that's Yogamaya. When in the material world, her counterpart is Mahamaya, but here she puts the souls into illusion, so they forget Krishna. Those who don't want to remember Krishna, they put into illusion of forgetting Krishna. So Mahamaya is in the material universes, while Yogamaya is in the spiritual world. This is my understanding, but I'm sure there's a further in-depth description and explanation. But this is all I know, just a little bit.
Okay. Thank you very much, both of you, for the clarification.
Thank you.
Hare
Ma'am.
Krishna.
Asha Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, my humble obeisances at your at your feet. It was very nice, the class. I have no questions, just to say thank you that a lot of things as a disciple could understand and learn from this class. And I had read about Yogamaya and Mahamaya once in an article which is in Hare Krishna Movement. And if you go to that harekrishnamovement.org, it's clearly mentioned the difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya. And they have also mentioned there that the bodies of the inhabitants of Vaikuntha are completely spiritual and having nothing to do with the material body, senses, or life or air. Therefore, kindly explain how associates of the personality of Godhead were cursed to descend in material bodies like ordinary persons. So from this is very significant question, would be difficult for an ordinary person to answer, but Narada Muni, being an authority, could answer it. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from him, saying, Itad Akyutam Arhasi, only you can explain the reason. From authoritative sources, it can be discerned that associates of Lord Vishnu who descend from Vaikuntha do not actually fall. They come with the purpose of fulfilling the desire of the Lord, and their descent to this material world is comparable to that of the Lord. The Lord comes to this material world through the agency of his internal potency, and similarly, when a devotee or associate of the Lord descends to the material world, he does so through the action of spiritual energy. Any pastime conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is an arrangement by Yogamaya, not Mahamaya. Therefore, it is to be understood that when Jaya and Vijaya descended to this material world, they came because there was something to be done for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, it is as fact that no one falls from Vaikuntha. So that article gives a clear differentiation for all the questions of Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. Hey Krishna, I was just
Thank you,
referring
Mataji.
this.
Please accept my humble obeisances of Krishna Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji, thank you so much for reading that. I'll definitely look into that. Even I think Namrata Mataji will be helpful for you too.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that article.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I just got this by His grace. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
So, Krishna Prabhupada.
Devotees, any more questions or comments, realizations on this wonderful pastime Mataji explained us today? Yeah, I see comments in the chat box by, I think, Asha Mataji and Devanand Pandit Prabhuji. Like, I really liked the lecture. He drew attention the importance of the family ties and the fact that Krishna himself in his Leelas confirmed this. So very nice, yeah. And also I like the point, Mataji, which you mentioned, like, even the Lord Krishna and Balarama, they are supreme personality of Godhead, still they perform all the pastimes like an ordinary so that common people can follow. So it's very important for us to do our prescribed duties. So even like you gave an example of King Janaka also, like how even though he's exalted personality, he still like performed his prescribed duties so we can follow them. Yeah. Any more questions or comments?
I think we can end, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. I think we'll look forward for one more class on 64 arts, Mataji, from you soon. So we can relish that nectar from you. Yes. Okay, Mataji. So thank you so much, Mataji. Vanchakalpa tarubhasya kripa sindhu pyevacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Our Grace Srimati Mataji ki jai.
Hari Ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.